Ian?
Christable.
I guess we watched a movie. We had an experience tonight. I'm kind of speechless, honestly.
Okay.
Like, we watched, what's this shit called?
The Devils Heist.
The Devils Heist.
That's when two guys and a girl.
And you know what? I think I've seen that movie before. Yeah, The Devil's Heist. So this movie is directed by Acevedo, written by a bunch of people, also members of the production crew and everything.
Cast and all that, yeah.
So this is one little low-budget passion project type deal.
So I think this is an interesting contrast to a movie that you and the gang just did on the podcast, Harpies.
Okay.
Because you guys were pretty upset at how, like, phoned in the whole thing was.
Yes.
Everybody showed up for the
That's a good
paycheck.
point.
Like, let's make this garbage thing and go home.
Yep.
It'll be a paycheck. Stephen Baldwin will sell enough tickets for this made-for-TV show that we can just phone it in.
Yep.
This is the exact opposite of that.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if the exact opposite of that. It's in that territory.
They share similarities in the fact that they're both pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But in different ways.
But this, everybody was going for it, and I really appreciated that about this. The acting performances were not phoned in. Everybody was giving it 110%. 110% of not the best, admittedly, all the time.
I will say, the fact that they were somehow able to create what feels like a 4.5-hour epic and an hour and 13-minute long movie is something.
It didn't feel that long.
No, it didn't. It does feel long. This movie is about 3 people. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say friends.
Not Devil's Rejects, but...
No, but they are always fighting.
Yes.
They're anti-heroes in a way, who rob a bank that is run by witches who have some sort of deal with the devil.
To run his bank.
To run his bank, and so they need to recover this cash. And it's this journey, and it follows the cash as it gets transferred about, and you follow these anti-heroes through this whole thing.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun in concept,
So
right?
you see the title Devil's Heist. You see the poster. You're thinking horror movie.
Yeah.
And you do discover it's a bit of a bank heist, obviously. Heist right there in the title.
Yeah.
But yeah, this felt a lot more of like a adventure-y, like action crime movie than it did feel like a horror movie. And it certainly has your witches and your devil thrown in there, but...
Yeah, we kept saying like Tarantino or Robert Rodriguez type thing, insofar as like it's like this moment-to-moment thing with these characters, and a whole bunch of infighting, and then the money changes hands, and it's silly, but it's also like very adult-themed.
Yeah.
And like dark humor in a way. But goddamn this movie. Goddamn some of the production quality of this shit is just...
This movie was also going for a level of style in ways that you don't usually get from these types of productions. Like, they had a very distinct editing style that you just don't see from some of these movies. But like Harpies, they just like set a camera on a tripod, right? And then just did the scenes. Whereas this, like, they were going for it. Oftentimes with these low-budget movies we cover, like... There's no, like, sometimes we make fun of the editing, but it's like, how else do you edit what footage they had?
Well, that's kind of, yes, and that's kind of how this is too, though.
They kept the pace moving with this, though.
They kept the pace moving because they didn't have the interstitial shots that make sense. People would just appear from cuts. No, don't try to defend.
That was intentional.
No, sir.
Was intentional.
We're not having any of that today, sir. No. The fact that she's having a conversation and then it cuts to like almost the same angle, but there's another person next to her now. Like, that's just like amateur filmmaking.
I think the ways where this movie failed most is one, the audio. Yeah, I think I'm coming to realize that the audio part of low budget productions is like bassists in rock bands. Like, the best bands can get a really good bassist, but like, if you can play bass, you can be in a band. You know what I mean? I technically know how to run sound equipment, so I'm the sound guy on this low-budget movie. If they even had that. Like you said, it was probably in-camera audio a lot of times.
If you are a low-budget filmmaker, get good sound because it's more important than the good shots. Sound will immediately cheapen your movie.
Yeah.
So much so that you will not want to watch it. regardless of what it looks like.
Yeah, we like to watch those kinds of movies.
They're funny. They're funny, but it's not
But if you
good.
want to, if you have any hope of your low budget production blowing up and become like Velocipastor,
reaching any sort of audience.
Velocipastor had no right to reach the audience that it did, and it never would have if it didn't have at least passable audio.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we said it when we did that, but I think the production quality of that movie is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Like Brendan, whatever, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to make a movie.
Steer.
Yeah. This feels amateur.
Yeah.
But, like you said,
Yeah,
it feels
and-
amateur with passion.
Yes.
So there's a level of respect and forgiveness I'm able to give to something like this.
Yeah, we started this like Ian. This is going to be a movie that makes you mad. This is going to be like Elves
It's
all
gonna
over
be like
again.
Elves.
I enjoyed this one enough.
See, Elves feels different than
Yeah.
this. Because
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I couldn't. It's been too long since I've seen it, and I don't remember anything about it.
We will do a Patreon 3-hour epic describing in-depth Elves
Sure.
when we revisit this year for the holidays. That's what we'll do.
I'm sure there's another movie called Elves coming out this year.
That's true.
But the other thing that really brought this one down is like, so there's A cam and B cam.
That's what
A cam was fine. They had a second or maybe even a third camera that was just awful.
This is what
They must not have known until they were in the edit.
I picked out 2 cameras,
Okay.
1 lens, like the same lenses on each. They don't bother changing lenses like for the scene. There's because when you're doing a close-up shot, like you get a good like lens to have, a nice framing and the background's all blurred. But this is just everything is the same.
Yeah, they cut to the new angle and just all of a sudden it's like, it looked terrible.
Yeah, when you cut to the other camera, that other camera's quality is way worse.
Yeah.
And it's jarring because the color is different, the quality is different. Sometimes they even just use a shot and then they zoom way in so it looks like shit. And it's so obvious.
Yeah.
But, at that point, you're on for the ride, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And did that Devil Man not lick everybody in a way that was entertaining? So I mean, there is no reasonable person who, just a normal person who watches movies would sit down and watch this.
No, they'd get 5 minutes in.
I wrote stuff down, I don't know why.
But look, this movie had entertaining attempts at trying to make a decent movie. Like, we started a different movie tonight.
Yeah.
And we got 10 minutes in, and it had the audio issues too, but it also was like, I can't understand what anybody's saying. And
That looked way better, though. Besides
looked
that.
better.
Yeah.
but I couldn't understand what people were saying. The audio was bad, and they weren't going for it. And maybe they got there, but we didn't give it enough of a chance. I imagine a lot of people do that with this too, but I don't know, this was more entertaining to me.
I mean, you say they go for it in the performances.
Yeah.
I think the content could have went for it a little more, either gore or just
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Those are all things that make a low budget production more challenging, though.
Yeah,
So I
guess
understand.
so.
There was a stunt where a guy hurts his leg that just looked terrible. But they also, I'm sure, adding true stunts to your movie, that blows the cost up way higher.
I mean, the movie is kind of ambitious, where it goes to a whole bunch of different locations.
There's a lot more cuts, editing-wise, in this movie than almost anything else at its production level. There's a lot of quick moving around at different.
And
things.
you had the cool Batman transition type thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be mean. I have some other comments I would say about this thing. I mean, it is what it is. That's about all I can say.
Would you recommend it?
No, not in any.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I don't even think it's good. It's not even a movie that would work if you were sitting down with friends to make fun of. Because there's enough there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think people could get some value out of it. Probably the only reason I enjoyed it is because we're sitting and watching it together.
Yeah, probably.
I probably wouldn't recommend this one. I don't know. There's plenty of other low-budget, terrible movies that are more interesting.
Yeah.
Go watch a Milko Davis movie.
Yeah. Well, that's different. we're going to get to that. Devil's Heist. I don't know when it comes out soon. December or something, I think. Something. It doesn't matter. You're not actually going to watch it, so it doesn't matter. You're probably not even watching this.
No. Everybody saw I was on, so they turned it off anyway.
It's true, though. That's going to do it for this movie. And I don't understand. All right. We'll catch you here next time. Goodbye.